This is a 3D Pong game which I built with no previous knowledge in game development. All I had was YouTube tutorials, Google and some kind of strange bugs. But what I finally got is a 3D playing field, 2-player protecting the goals, a nice scoring board, confetti throwing fans and shaky hands for more coffee. But to know how I got to this point, we need to go back for weeks. Like a normal evening, I sit around, play some games and watch random stuff on YouTube until I found an interesting video category. People who made devlogs. These were not people who made programming tutorials and explain every single piece of code. These were people who developed games and documented their progress. I mean, that's an amazing idea. There are 3 things I like: programming, games and YouTube. That's it. So I first redesigned my epic existing YouTube channel with incredible 0 videos and 4 followers. Yep, this is me and my 3 only friends. And then I downloaded Unity. Started the program and yeah, what to do? I mean, I already have some programming experience in Python and R, but Unity, C# and Blender, this is completely new for me. So I started with a Blender tutorial in which I will make a fancy donut, but halfway I lost the interest and my donut does not look very tasty. So I closed Blender and started with the learning resources on the Unity hub, especially with the platformer microgame and the karting microgame. The tutorials were not bad, but I looked at finished projects and I have no idea how anything works. Then I closed Unity again and I was really frustrated. I mean, how to start? Back on YouTube I saw all the other guys building their cool stuff and that was the point. They all actually building something. So I decided to jump right into a project and see what happened. What kind of project? I think you know what comes next. Pong, the classic game from the 70s, but not in black and white and 2D. I want color and 3D. After some heavy research, I found a nice gameplay of a 3D Pong game for the PlayStation. That's a good inspiration point. And after some more heavy research, I also found a 6-year-old Unity tutorial for a 3D Pong game. Nice. Now I'm ready to start. Just a little bit of coffee and let's go. First I created a new project with a realistic name. Then I pulled my first 3D cube in the scene and created the arena ground. After that I pulled 4 more cubes in the scene and created a nice border. Then I played a little bit with the main camera and the light settings until I created 2-player from the capsule object and a ball from the sphere object. Nice, that was easy drag and drop. Now it's time for some coding. So first I gave the ball a rigid body so that it can react to real-time physics. Then I added a script component to the ball which will add an initial force to the ball at the start of the game. The ball is moving, but I think we need some bounciness. So I created a physics material, added them to the ball, and now the ball bounced nicely. The Pong game is quite boring without a player, so I configured the player controls in the input manager and then I created a script that changed the position of the player during an input. And finally I created 2 scripts, one that restarts the ball when it hits one of the borders behind the player and the second which counts and displays the game points. Yep, that was not a bad start. The basic game worked and I understand a little bit more. The first point on the list, check. What comes next? Okay. At this point I still needed 2 human players for the game, so first I had to create a simple AI for the enemy. And after some heavy research I found some nice tutorials which got me to this little script. And now on the right side is the player and on the left side is the enemy, controlled by a simple AI, which tries to follow always the ball on the Z-axis. Then I thought it would be a good time to get into animations in Unity, and I found a really nice tutorial from Jonas. I built a spinning cube and saw my ball disappearing. Then I built a shifting camera like in the original 3D Pong game for the PlayStation. That's what I want. And finally I built a trigger animation. This means when the player enters a certain area, the bar at the top of the playing field will close. Nice, it worked well, but it is so useless for now. So I improved the ball physics. I freeze the Y position, limited the speed of the ball to a maximum and increased the ball speed every round until a maximum is reached. Wow, that was a lot of programming so far. I mean, we are already over minute 5 of the video. I think it is time for some creative work now. Let's add a new point to the list. What annoyed me all the time was that in many tutorials the scene was always much brighter than mine. After some googling I found this little post here which solved my problem. Everything is brighter now. Then I wanted to edit some kind of grass to my playing field. I placed the terrain above my playing field, drawed a grass structure in GIMP, placed them on the terrain, and yup, I think it doesn't work well. One step back. Back in GIMP I drawed a new texture and placed them on the ground, and yeah, I think this is better. What do you think? Back on my inspiration video I saw this little nice flex in the corner, so I repeated my workflow. I looked for a tutorial and created a really nice flag with an animation in Blender, which I unfortunately could not export to Unity. So I added a close component to the plane, selected the fixed points, placed the flag in each corner, and well done. I think that's good for now. Now that I am the expert in Blender, let's do the big stuff. I need some soccer goals, and yeah, I love YouTube for all its tutorials. Let's enjoy the progress. So nice. Now I had 2 soccer goals and I also adjusted the playing field, but I missed some field lines. So I drew some in Blender and here we are. Then I thought some kind of scoring board will be nice, so I searched for a template and I found one. And 20 minutes later, I got this one. So I added the scoring board and a new Text Mesh Pro object to the game, which I placed right in the front of the board, and I got this result. After that I added some fans for both teams. Some of them are jumping and some of them are also throw confetti when their team scores a goal. And finally I added some sounds in the game, changed the border color and the background color. And I'm done. That's my first game in Unity. Thanks for watching. Smash the button, like and subscribe, and see you next time.